Good afternoon. Tom Johnson with another edition of Fair Game Laguna. I'm with Mayor Sue Kemp. Good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is, Sue. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Tom.
We've got a lot going on. One of the issues that I'm hearing a lot about is seems like there's a lot of stuff going around about Laguna Canyon Road, what the city's doing and everything. Can you kind of give us some clarification on that?
Right. So our city manager, Dave Kempf, is going to be putting out a document that basically describes the work that we're doing on Laguna Canyon Road. I think he calls it a Laguna Canyon explainer document. And, it's if you have 5 minutes, you should read it because it really kind of takes you through all the things that we're thinking about. And all we're doing right now is thinking and talking and gathering data. So we're going to be putting that out. I'll be putting that out in my Mayor Sue Kempf newsletter. Stu News, I believe, is going to publish it. We're going to put it on our website. We'll link to that. And also we've submitted it to the Indy. So that should help people kind of understand, what's happening with Laguna Canyon Road. Because as I've mentioned before, when we surveyed the community, 80% of the people had comments about it that they would like to see some improvements, whether it's pedestrian improvements, bicycle improvements, but mainly it was and public safety related, accidents, people hitting poles, the poles coming down or a line, whipping loose in a high wind and starting a fire there. Because we are a high risk community. I've heard people say, "Oh, we have low fire risk." No, we don't. That's why we can't get in. That's why we're having an insurance problem, and we're working on that on the insurance problem. So, but when you think about it in terms of mitigating risk, if you eliminate a risk, you don't have that potential for an accident or a problem. It's just if you never mitigate the risk, you always have the risk. So anyway, it's one of these things where we're just trying to be prudent and be very, very thoughtful about what we're going to propose on Laguna Canyon Road, if anything. And we've had, a couple town hall or community workshops, and so more to come on that. It needs a lot more analysis, and that'll be coming to us at some point for discussion, at a council meeting. But we're just doing our diligence, and we're being quite thorough about it. I've heard, oh, it's $150 million. That's not accurate. We don't even know. We'd probably get most of that as grant money if we were to do that. We're not going to own the road or anything like that. So anyway, people should take a little time to read about that. It's kind of interesting, but it does take about, 5 or 7 minutes to kind of go through because it's a meaty topic.
Well, I think one of the problems in today's, world is, I mean, social media is great. You can stay in touch with friends and, a lot and find out what a lot of people are doing and things like that. But also issues get thrown out there that aren't necessarily correct. Then they kind of spin and have a life of their own. I've always found, and I've known Dave Kiff for a number of years, Dave's a tremendous writer. And, sometimes in some of the stuff he's written, he's got a great sense of humor and everything. So I'm assuming it's a document that'll be very informational and people will enjoy reading it. And then they'll have actually the information that actually comes from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, that's right. And it is a very well written document. He is a good writer. He has a bit of a kind of a folksy style in his writing, which I really appreciate. It makes it pleasurable to read. Not only is informative, pleasurable to read. And we just need to have him do more of that if he has time to do it on, a wide ranging topics in town.
Yeah. I actually ran into Dave the other day, and that's the first time I'd seen him in a long time. And God, he looked so good. And I got to just tell you, in our short, brief conversation, he was so happy doing what he's doing. So, congratulations. Long overdue for just a great hire.
Yeah.
Our beaches are always, they always look great. They always look pristine. But if you really get down there and look, there's things that can be cleaned up and, improvements made. And we have a couple of beach cleanups this weekend. Talk about those.
Yeah, we have two on Saturday. One is sponsored by Diane Dixon. She's our assemblywoman, by Diane Dixon's office. And that's from 8 to 9. And that's at Aliso Beach. And then the other one is an International Coastal Cleanup Day, which is at 9 o'clock. It's at 9 to noon at Main Beach. So, both of those are really going to be really good events. I don't know how far they're going to go off Main Beach. We have a tendency to keep Main Beach really clean. But, there's always things that we can do there, and maybe we can go up and down the coast a bit and just do some more work. So I really appreciate when we do these events. I'll be going to both of those events, and because it's important to the community. That's one of the major concerns that people have when visitors come, is that we make sure that the beaches are left or clean. And a lot of people have those little tongs that they walk around with, and they pick up, trash themselves. So it's good to have these, and we should have them more often.
It's not only good for, to make it for the visitors and stuff when they come and they look at it, but I mean, our good, clean beaches mean, stronger home prices, more attractants to businesses and stuff downtown to get people, circulating and things like that. So good, clean beaches are a great thing. The other thing that I find interesting, in this case, it's Diane Dixon at Aliso Beach this weekend, but I've even noticed it with Katrina Foley from the supervisor's office. It seems like there's been a lot more focus in the last year or so of some of our state and county officials really getting a lot more engaged in our communities and making an impact. Do you find that?
Oh, definitely. And I think it's good. Like on Laguna Canyon Road and on the FEMA grants that we're applying for, and other grant opportunities we would like around town. Like Katrina Foley, our county supervisor, has been very, very helpful writing letters on our behalf. Diane Dixon is always willing to sit down and talk with us. And I got to tell you, I really, as an elected, I really appreciate that. That's a lot of work for their offices, but they're focusing on the right thing. I noticed also there's an article this morning in the LA Times about shrinking beaches along the coastline, and they do reference Laguna Beach. So, another thing to talk about on beach cleanups is another reason we want the trash off the beach is we don't want it in the water.
Right.
And that's where it winds up. So we don't want that. We have that beautiful MPA, we have beautiful return of our sea, marine life back. And so we want to just keep that super clean.
Well, clean beaches and people that care about making that happen is kind of what Laguna Beach is all about, in my estimation.
Yep.
The people that live there and things like that. Anyway, good stuff. Get out there and help out. I think both of those cleanups are in the morning. And so it's not like you have to throw away a whole day, but get out there and do your part if you're allowed to. Sue, thanks so much for taking your time, and perhaps we'll see you at the beach cleanup.
I'll be there. Have a good weekend, Tom.
Okay, you too.